Thank you for taking the time out to do my podcast.
Absolutely. I'm happy to do it.
So, here's the thing about Wikipedia and female wrestlers. I feel like there's no information about us outside of where we're from, how much we weigh, how tall we are, and our few
Yeah.
accomplishments in wrestling. Tell me about baby Britt Baker. What were your interests before wrestling and dental hygiene?
So I was always around boys growing up. I have a little brother. The family that babysat me was all boys, 5 boys. So I was always surrounded by men, and I was the classic tomboy. I mean,
Yeah.
I wanted to wear my hat backwards because all the guys wore their hat backwards. I wanted to do sports. My mom kept me in ballet for a little bit, and then it was forget it. I had to play basketball instead. So I was always the rough and always getting dirty in the mud type of girl.
Right. And what about in school? What were your favorite subjects?
Well, I was always fortunate in that I was always I did well in school,
Okay.
but I didn't have to try hard. So
Ah,
that's like that's when you get in trouble, right? Is when
yeah.
you don't really have to. And then as I got older and did more advanced classes, then I had to study because obviously to be a dentist, you no one is just given the golden brains to succeed academically and everything in life. But I was always just getting into everything I could possibly get into. And I was on the academic team. I played basketball, cross country. I did track. I was just into anything and everything that I could get my hands on because I feel like I'm never satisfied
Yep.
type thing. So I have that kind of mentality where I want to do everything.
Yep. I get it. Did you play an instrument? Were you orchestra or band or anything?
When I was a kid, I played piano for 8 years.
That seems very in line to everything you've
Yeah.
done to this point. And what about your parents? Do you come from a family of academics?
Yeah, I do. So, my mom actually went back to school when I was it middle school or high school?
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so she's a school teacher now, and my dad has always been in the healthcare field on the business side of things, and he was also a paramedic. So my family was always like super not strict, but kind of strict with academics and studying and making sure we have our lives together as
Yeah.
far as a career path, which is I can't thank them enough for that.
Of course. I'm sure there was a lot of rebellion early on, though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't even tell them I was training to be a professional wrestler for like 6 months. I kept it a secret because I was in dental school, and I
Right.
already knew the conversation that was coming. I already like, Britt, you're guaranteed success. You're going to be a dentist. What the hell are you doing?
Of course.
Training in a warehouse with like weird men. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, what is going on here? Get your brain together. Get your life right, Britt.
Well, here's what I find astounding as I've had friends go through the dental field, even
Mhm.
just to get into a dental program is
It's brutal.
so cutthroat. You need like the minimum requirements. The list is, an
So
ungodly length.
So funny story. I was on my second year of school at Penn State,
Okay.
my sophomore year, and I didn't have very good grades, and I didn't because I was just like partying to be totally transparent, and
Totally.
I didn't know what I wanted to do. And my dad stepped in and was like, "All right, what are we doing here? Because if you're not gonna do anything, you're wasting money, you're wasting time. What do you want to do?"
Right.
So I took that summer and I job shadowed. I figured out what I liked, what I didn't like. And then it was the dental office where I really felt like I connected with something finally that I liked, that I could see myself doing. So I went to my academic advisor. I said, "Hey, I finally know what I want to do. I want to be a dentist."
Mhm.
And she looks at me and says, "Well, too bad you don't have the grades for it. So you pick something else."
Mm.
I couldn't believe it. I was so pissed off. I'm telling you, I was so raging mad. I remember calling my mom, calling my dad. And then I spent the next 2 years doing nothing but getting straight A's, bringing my GPA up. And then this is the type of person I am. I'm not proud of it, but I sent her every acceptance letter into dental school that I got as like a big, like middle finger because I was so mad. Like, your job is to encourage the students, the future, tomorrow's physicians, and you're telling me I can't do it? Come on, man, right?
Oh, but girl, there is nothing better than a woman
I know.
scorned to
I
show
know.
she gave you the pill you needed.
It's exactly what I needed. You're 100%
Yeah,
right. It's
yeah,
like tell what is it? You tell somebody you can't do it, they'll show you 100 ways you can, or so whatever that
exactly.
saying. I'm sure I messed it up, but
But okay, so okay. So you've got your life in order. You're going to dental school. You're proving everybody wrong. Where did wrestling come from?
Yeah. So I was just a fan and more, I feel like everyone's the opposite. Like they're a major fan when they're a kid. I like knew of it and watched it when I was a kid, but my like major fandom came when I was in high school and college. Like at Penn
Okay.
State at college, we would watch the pay-per-views at my house. I would go watch the WWE live events at the Bryce Jordan Center. So I was a fan and I didn't know anything about independent wrestling.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine was like, you should do indie wrestling when you move to Pittsburgh. Cause I was already accepted to dental school. I was going to Pitt Dental. And they said, that's a big indie wrestling scene. And I'm like, I don't know what, like indie music? What do you mean indie wrestling? What is that?
Right.
So I looked it up and I was like, oh man, this is so cool. And then you see all like the famous names that come out of indie wrestling.
Yeah.
Like all the people I was watching on WWE, my favorites came from this indie wrestling world. So I was like, well,
Right.
maybe I'll give it a go. And I tried out. I drove the whole way to Pittsburgh, which was like 3 hours at one point, just to try out for them to tell me, yeah, you can take the class. We'll put you in the class, but it starts like next week. And I wasn't moving to Pittsburgh for 3 more months. So I had to make the drive back and forth 1,000 times, not 1,000, I'm being dramatic, but
No, but
it was
a lot.
exhausting. Yeah. But I
Yeah.
loved it. Cause after I would do like the night of training, I knew I wouldn't get home till 3 a.m, but I was so jazzed up. Cause like I
Yeah.
learned an arm drag today. I'm so, like, I'm on my way.
That's incredible. So you literally just embarked upon your wrestling training. You're starting
Yeah.
dental school. How did you do that balancing act?
Yeah, it was hard. It was a lot of, I always say that if I would have looked at the big picture and the long road, the stretch, I would have never done it because it's way too daunting.
Right.
I would just wake up and be like, okay, this is what I have to do today.
Mhm.
Let's get through today. And then like tomorrow I have to do, I would have to take it one step at a time or I would
Right.
have lost my mind because it's just, I mean, I had to take my exams, my boards, my clinical, like I had so much ahead of me that I couldn't even focus on that because I also had to go set up the ring for an indie show that
Yeah.
weekend too. So you can't look at it like that. So you just have to do one step at a time and your goals, you're going to reach it there eventually. You don't have to,
Yeah.
you don't have to look at the marathon, just
Of
look at the little
course.
sprints and to get there.
What an inspiring story, because people spend their whole lives trying to be a dentist or their whole lives trying to be a professional wrestler, and not only have you accomplished both, but you did them concurrently, which is incredible. So kudos to you
Yeah,
for.
I mean, there's some downsides to it too, because like I really didn't have a social life.
Yes.
And honestly, like I was the outcast in my dental class. Like I was the nerd. I was because I wasn't in the library studying till 4 a.m. I was watching wrestling videos in the back row of the classroom getting yelled at all the time. So I was not the cool kid at all.
Wow.
It was my first time being like the nerd. And I don't know, it's a humbling experience for
Yeah.
sure.
And you're still doing it concurrently, because here you are, an AEW superstar, and you are a practicing dental
Yeah.
physician.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a dentist. I just was in the office all day yesterday, all day Monday. I'll be there all day tomorrow. So it's still like a juggling act, but I'm
Yeah.
just so lucky that the people I work for, Tony Khan, and then my boss, the people who own the dental company I work for, they're so understanding of each other, and they
Cool.
allow me to take time off here or there, and pick steal some days or some hours from here and from there. So I could never do it if I didn't work for the people I worked for.
You're incredible, though. You really are. Like, you're so
Oh.
busy that it's really easy to be like, well, I gotta do this. I think gender is irrelevant, but I think women, more than anything, we're known as these multitaskers. It's so
Yeah.
easy to be like next thing, next thing, next thing, and being type A and goal oriented.
Yeah,
Honestly,
for sure.
I find you so motivational and so inspirational. So
Oh, well, thank you so much. I mean,
yeah.
look at you though. Look at you getting back in the ring, man. Oh my gosh. When I saw you come out there, I was like, no way. No way.
I'm back.
He's back.
And it feels amazing. It really does. But similarly, but different to you, I needed to, so I was in it very young, and I needed to walk away, and I needed to have another professional career, for stability, for peace of mind, for so many things.
It keeps us grounded. I always say that like dentistry, like it puts me back in the real world, because when we're wrestling, everybody is crazy. We're all crazy people,
Oh,
wrestlers.
yes.
We're all our heads, our egos are massive, and it's a fake world with fake people and fake characters.
Yes.
So to come back to dentistry and be like, oh my gosh, I have an office manager and an assistant, and these are like real people with real, you know, components to their career.
Yeah.
Not that wrestling's, I'm not saying the F word, I'm saying it's fake.
Oh,
But it's, you know what I mean? It's just
yeah.
so refreshing to have the dental side of my life too.
100%. Well, and that was the thing too, is so I'm a first responder and a firefighter, and in Toronto, oh, thank you. You know, we're basically trained paramedics. We can't like we don't do like intravenous or disperse any medication, but we stabilize the scene as well as fires and a bunch of other things.
Sure.
But you see so many things, the reality of how people live, and you know,
Yeah.
I've been in the realness for so long. It's almost been like the opposite, where I kind of love being in a place that is escapism for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like wrestling is it's stressful. It's a whole other form of stress, but
It is. It totally is.
Yeah.
And it's its own reality in a way.
Yeah. Are the statistics the same? Because I remember years ago I read a statistic, because obviously suicide amongst first responders is very high, that dentistry is up on the.
Yeah, I've been told so many times that that's like the highest suicide, like right out of graduation. You know, dentists have the highest suicide rate. I'm like, oh, thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm not sure though. I can't figure out why, because I love my job and I love the people I interact with. But I guess it is, if you don't have the personality for it, it would be very taxing on you, because people don't like the dentist. You really have to win them over. It's like winning over the 10 people in the bingo hall you're wrestling in front of on movies. You know what I mean? You really, really, really got to work hard to win, especially kids, man. Kids hate you, which is awful if you're like me and you love kids.
I know. That was actually going to be my next question. So excellent segue. You, what are, if any, are there parallels to dentistry and professional wrestling?
Yeah, it's all, you're selling yourself.
Right.
In wrestling, you're selling your character and your strengths as a villain, as a babyface, whoever you are. And in dentistry, you're selling yourself. You want them to trust you, to believe in you, to essentially come back to your office. So
it's really interesting. I think, you know, we're all of us women, which is the focus of the podcast primarily. We all come from such interesting backgrounds. We're all such weird misfits, man.
Yeah, totally.
But I always like to end my podcast the same way. It's kind of a bit of a speed round, but don't feel rushed into the questions. It's 10 tailor-made questions. Are you ready to play?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Name a beauty product you cannot live without.
Tinted sunscreen.
Oh, any brand specific?
I really like the Elastin and the Elta MD. I mix them actually. But tinted sunscreen every day because I want to stay young forever.
For sure. And you live in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Right. Not even an option.
I know. You have to have it.
Name your favorite exercise.
Ooh, I really like the hip. You know what I hate and I love at the same time are burpees, because I hate them and I feel like I'm so close to death. But then when you survive and you get like those extra 2 burpees, and it's such a good feeling. So I hate them, but I feel great after I finish a good HIIT workout with burpees.
I'm with you. All about the HIIT workout, especially, well, Florida's functioning like COVID.
Because I'm too like ADD. I get too bored with just standing on the treadmill, and I do it because I know I have to.
Yeah.
But it's like my legs hurt, my hips, everything hurts, and HIIT just distracts me from that, I think.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve. Ooh, this one's hard. I have a lot. I think
that's the common denominator.
Oh man, this one's such a good one.
It could be top 3 if you really want. I've got time.
So I don't like, I mean, lying is a big one. I don't like lying. Everyone lies, but then there's like the people that you know are lying. Everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like when people make excuses for things not going their way, like it's everyone else's fault or it's the wrong day, the wrong time, the wrong weather. I don't like that. I think we all just need to hold ourselves accountable
Yes.
for our successes and our failures.
Yeah.
So I think that one's probably number one is the excuse machines.
I'm with you. I think being vulnerable and admitting fault is probably one of the most attractive qualities a person can have.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. Who is your celebrity crush?
Johnny Depp. The Pirates of the Caribbean is my favorite by far movie series. And like Captain Jack Sparrow, there's just something about him. Such a weirdo, but so cool at the same time. He's like,
and dreamy.
Very sultry. Yeah, love him.
What is your favorite band or artist?
Queen. Big Queen fan.
Oh, interesting. Do you have a secret vice, like drinking a glass of wine in the shower?
A secret vice. It's a food actually, and it's a Big Mac. And I eat a Big Mac once a week. I have to pass McDonald's to get to my house, and it's at least once a week, sometimes twice. I get a Big Mac. I have to. It's like it's not good. I'm not proud of it, but I'm comforted by food. I'm an emotional eater. When I'm mad, when I'm sad, a Big Mac fixes everything. When I'm happy, it's the Big Mac is there for me.
Girl, I still love a Big Mac. I hear you.
Yeah.
But I don't have any McDonald's around here. If I did, I think it would be a different story. What wrestler has the best entrance music?
Ooh, well, there's something super cool about Chris Jericho coming out to his own music right now. I'm also a big fan of Ricky Stark's music because his entrance is like so lively. But I think I have to go with Chris Jericho because it's his own music. How cool is that? And you get chills when you hear the whole crowd singing Judas. It's something you have to see. You have to be there to feel it, but it's very it's inspiring. What is your drink of choice? Doesn't have to be alcoholic. So non-alcoholic diet Dr. Pepper. Oh. Definitely. Alcoholic, I'm boring. I do the classic water with Tito's or Grey Goose and a lime. I try to keep it skinny. But then I'm like a monster, 3 of those in, and I'm eating everything in the menu. So it's out the window anyway. It's balance, right? Right. What was your most embarrassing moment in the ring? Oh my God, hands down. Well, I don't even remember it because I was concussed, but I got a really bad concussion. It was our first show in Jacksonville, and I went to the wrong tag corner and tried to tag in the wrong person. Oh no. And then had to go to the other end and tag in the right person. And I don't even remember doing it, but the GIF is there. The GIF is out there. So it's embarrassing. How did you get concussed? I got kicked in the back of the head really hard, and it was just like a total freak thing, and it was not intentional, but I just got stomped in the back of the head, blacked out at the very beginning of the match, of course. Don't remember anything. And it was Ref Aubrey that really helped me and got me through and checked in on me the rest of the night, but that's definitely up there. Jesus. And was that early on in your career? Yeah, it was before we even had Dynamite. It was I don't want to say 3rd show ever, because we were just doing like pay-per-view type shows for a while, and it was on the buy-in it was a tag match. So oh man, I was pretty infamous for that for a long time, but I think I've overcome it. I hope. I'm sure I haven't, but I'm probably still known as the girl who went to the wrong tag corner by some people. We all do. We all have a thing. It's usually like a wardrobe malfunction or. I have not had any of those yet, and I'm telling you, me and Miss Sandra get into some fights because I'll be like, Miss Sandra, no, look at this. This is going to slide up. This is going to do this. She'll be like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Miss Sandra's our wardrobe or she makes all my gear, but it's funny. That's like my nightmare. Oh no, you're fine. It's not going to happen. But have you peed? It's not going to happen. I'm not going to manifest it. That's the question. What's that? Have you peed? That's the question. Yes. Yeah, obviously. Yes. Any top rope bump. Me and Reba were just telling Jerry Lynn about this because he's my coach, my agent a lot. Yeah. Like we were talking about him, and I said, oh man, I'm definitely going to pee. And he goes, what? And I said, yeah, all girls, when they take like a big bump, they like pee. It's just nothing like out of control. We're not we're not flooding the ring, Jerry. It's just like a little zhuzh of pee. And it happens to all of us, and nobody ever knows until we talk about it like idiots, like we are now. Right. So
I feel like that's my public service announcement. That is my gift I'm giving to the future of women's wrestling, that all of your mentors, everyone that has come before you, we've all peed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so on that note, last one, finish this lyric. Mama, I just killed a man.
Listen, I'm going to change your song because my favorite song is Fat Bottom Girls.
Go for it, go for it.
That's my favorite. Oh, you gotta take me home tonight. That's my favorite one. So I had to switch. I had to heel turn right there.
Truthfully, that is the best finish I've had on the finish the lyric part. So thank you for that.
Okay. Good. I'm glad I could spice it up a little bit.